You have got a nasty little habit. No, I'm not talking about that habit. I'm talking about that nasty little pricing or discounting habit that is killing profits in your business. Hey everyone, it's Janine here for today's episode of Live with the Pricing Lady. If you're new to the show, this show is all about helping small business owners get better at pricing so they can confidently charge for the value they deliver and build a more sustainably profitable business. Hello and welcome everyone. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips to help you avoid that nasty discount habit that you have that's draining those profits from your business. But before we get into the tips, there's a couple of other things that I want to address. And the first is, why do you do it? Why are you granting those discounts when there is no need to grant a discount? That is the big question. And oftentimes you know that you shouldn't even be granting a discount and you're doing it anyhow. So here are some of the reasons that I've heard from people about why they do it. They want to be fair. They want to be nice. It's easy to do. Sometimes they're afraid to say their price without first softening the blow with a discount. They're unsure of their price. They're unsure of what they offer. They're unsure of themselves. There are so many reasons. You might even think that your customer can't afford it. Well, how dare you make that judgment for them, is what I say. You're afraid of the reaction. You think people might like you better. And well, everybody else does it. So that is just a short list of the many reasons that you're granting discounts that are unnecessary in your business. This is really important because there are so many reasons to grant them, but there are a few reasons, only a few reasons, that are actually valid business reasons to grant a discount. And you need to be able to differentiate the times when it makes sense from the times where it doesn't. That's how you're going to break that habit. So how is this hurting profits in your business? Now, if you've watched one of my previous episodes, there's one called the leaky bucket of pricing. And you'll understand that every time you grant a discount, it's like taking a bucket that you have that you're filling with profits as people are buying for you and poking big holes in the side of it with an ice pick. Every time you offer a discount, you're putting another hole in the side of your profit bucket, meaning that you are simply draining profits. And the thing is, most people think, well, if I offer a discount, if I put a hole in my bucket, I'll sell more and make enough in order to earn more money. The problem with that scenario is it very seldom works in the short term, but especially in the long term. So in order for you to understand whether or not it's a good business decision, you have got to do the math to make sure you know how much volume you're going to need to make up for the loss or the lower price and where that volume is going to come from. Great for you is I have a really fantastic tool on my website. If you go to janineliston.com/pricing tools or pricinglady.com/pricing tools, you will find the toolkit there, and you want to use the price change calculator. In just less than 60 seconds, you'll be able to figure out how much more volume you need in order to break even. And then you can think about where that extra volume is really going to come from. So we looked at why we do it and how it hurts your profit. I know you're all chomping at the bit to understand what are the 5 things that you can start doing to avoid this nasty discounting habit. Let's take a look at that. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to establish very clear boundaries for yourself. So one of the mistakes people make when it comes to granting discounts is they've not actually created any boundaries for themselves about when they're going to discount, when they're not going to discount, under what circumstances they're going to offer discounts. If you haven't ever thought about that, and made boundaries for yourself, then you're making them up as you go along. And we all know when we make things up on the fly, it rarely goes as planned. So the first thing you want to do is understand the boundaries that you're going to be working in within your business. If you have employees in your business, you want to make sure that the employees who are out there selling what you offer have clear boundaries to work within as well. They know when they can and can't give discounts. They know when they need to escalate it to someone else, so on and so forth. So these boundaries are very important, both for you if you're in your own business, as well as for your team if you're in a bigger business. Tip number 2. Prepare for the conversations. If you know that you're going to be having pricing conversations with customers or clients, and you suspect from time to time you might get challenged or be in a situation where you're going to want to offer discounts, you want to prepare for that conversation in advance. Now, part of that is the boundaries, but also thinking about what are other things that you can be doing instead of granting discounts. So prepare. What kind of questions might you get? What kind of objections might you get? And how can you address that without simply lowering the price? So preparation is absolutely key. Now, if you're doing project-based business where negotiations are often a part of that whole process, then you're going to want to prepare even more. You're also going to want to think about, okay, where's my walk-away price? Where's the price where I think, okay, this is still a great deal for me and for the customer? And where is this an okay deal for me and an okay deal for me, the customer? And at what point am I simply going to say, nope, this project is no longer for me? Again, having thought about this in advance will make it easier when you're in the discussion because you won't have to make it up as you go along. Next, stop discounting for bad reasons. Now, at the beginning of this video, I list out a whole bunch of bad reasons, but you have to understand that each time you're granting those discounts for bad reasons, you are creating a habit for yourself, first of all. Next time you do it, it gets easier and easier, so you end up doing it more and more, but you're also training your customers to expect discounts for, well, basically no reason. So I had a client last year I had a client and they would actually offer a discount before the customer even objected to anything. Actually, they offered the discount with the original offer. And why would you do that? Why would you not see what the price, the reaction of the customer is to your offer before you start slinging mud or offering discounts or changing things around? Why not wait until they push back and say something before you even consider offering a discount? So, for example, that is one bad reason to grant a discount. I also prescribe to the theory that discounts today do not guarantee business tomorrow. So if you're walking into a deal and you're granting a discount now, assuming that you're going to be getting the business next time they need it, what can you do to secure that? Because a discount that you grant today usually becomes the benchmark for the starting price tomorrow, not business automatically. And you need to understand that. So be careful of those habits and ask yourself the question, is this really necessary? Is this really in the best interest of myself and the customer? Because quite frankly, offering discounts oftentimes isn't even in the best interest of the customer themselves. We've all been in those situations where we did give someone a discount and then their engagement level was much lower than it should have been. So be wary of that as well. Tip number 4. Use alternative offers. So if you structure your offering, whether it be products or services, if you structure it in such a way that people have to choose between this price and this level of value, and this price and this level of value, and this price and this level of value, then you always have somewhere to move them to. Then if they say that's too expensive, you say, all right, why don't we talk about this? This could be a better option for you. So having offers at different value levels, and i.e. different price levels, will help you be able to navigate that discussion without feeling the urge to grant a discount. Tip number 5, we're getting to the end here, is make them, I'm just trying to read my notes. Yes, make them choose different trade-offs or adjust the value, not with packages, but in other ways. So trade-offs are a way to get people to really think about what it is they really want versus how much they're willing to pay for it. So if you think of being on an airplane, when you buy a ticket, you know if you sit on the aisle, it's one price versus the middle another versus the window another. And if you go early in the morning or late at night, it's a different price than if you go in the middle of the day. These are what I mean by trade-offs. So what trade-offs are you going to put in your offers that people have to make, and what price differences will there be? If you're doing project-based business, you can also take things out of the offer sometimes. Remove something. Now, as long as it doesn't sacrifice the output of the overall project in such a way that, you wouldn't be able to complete it at all, this is something that you can do. But again, going back to the very beginning here, be clear about your boundaries around that and be prepared before you go into those discussions around the project scope and the pricing. That's what I wanted to share with you today. You can see pricing or discounting. I keep messing that one up, huh? So discounting is one of those things that can be a really nasty habit in your business. It definitely affects profitability. It also affects people's perception of value. So the more you're discounting, the more they start to get suspicious about, is this quality? Am I really going to get out of this what I need? So you have to be able to balance that and make sure that what you're doing in terms of your discounts, your special actions, and offers around pricing are actually aligned with your brand and your overall positioning and message that you want to be sending to your customers. As I mentioned before, there's a great tool, the price change calculator, at JanineListon.com/pricing-tools. You can go over there and grab that. I will put that in the notes for you so that you have to only click on the button. You see that right here. The other thing that I wanted to let you know about before we wrap this up today is I have, that is the wrong link. I have a webinar going on. If you go over, here it is, to JanineListon.com/5 steps to pricing success, you can sign up for the free webinar I have coming up and get an introduction to pricing overall and start to understand what you can do to be improving pricing in your business. That's what I wanted to share with you today, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get rid of that nasty discounting habit. Until next time, I wish you all the best. And as always, everyone, enjoy pricing.